Argentina and Messi and potentially not being at the World Cup? Well, last night, or was it the night before, it's a little tune I don't want to say. Messi turned it around single-handedly away to, was it Ecuador? 3 goals, 3-1 win, Argentina in the World Cup. What was all the fuss? What was all the fuss? And the old debate comes around again, because Gary Lineker will always jump on a positive thing that can get him a lot of retweets on Twitter, and he come out with the line, Messi clearly is the GOAT. Now next week when Ronaldo does something, he'll say Ronaldo's the GOAT. Just go through his history, does it all the time. But I think a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it, and it's just really, really childish. It's really childish, this Ronaldo or Messi debate that always seems to start off, because the bottom line is Ronaldo's the better player. But no, seriously, the reality is Messi scored a hat-trick last night, but it took him 18 games. 18 games they had to get qualified from that group, and they left it to the last minute. And without doubt, Argentina's resources, squad, players are far better than Ronaldo's had to play with in the last decade at Portugal. And yet Portugal have won a European Championships. Now, obviously, Argentina can't win that, but Messi's been pretty poor in World Cups. You know, Rooney, our great or ex-great, always got a lot of stick for not turning up in World Cups. And Messi, without doubt, one of 2 absolute sensational players of our time, never really turned up in a World Cup. Why is that? Why is it? Why has Messi never turned up in a World Cup? Why can't he do it with brilliant players around him and with teams? They've had numerous managers, Argentina, over the years who've tried to build a team around Messi, and it hasn't worked. At Barcelona, he has no equal. Messi is arguably the best player in the world, bar Ronaldo. But Barcelona, will Messi ever leave the comfort blanket of Barcelona? Because I've seen, and many of you have seen football over the decades, and that Barcelona team that Messi was ripping it up in 5, 6, 7 years ago was probably one of the best teams I've seen in my lifetime. Iniesta, Xavi, to name 2. Surrounded by fantastic players, and Messi fed off that. A fantastic player. Again, Ronaldo in a transforming United side, scoring ridiculous amounts of goals from the wing, winning Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, and then goes to Spain and pretty much replicates Messi's career. I mean, that's what Messi and Ronaldo have done since they've been in Spain. They've pretty much replicated what they've done. I mean, it was only a few years ago that Ronaldo scored a hat-trick to get Portugal to a major tournament. So everything Messi does, Ronaldo does, and vice versa. This need to say who's better is flawed. In my mind, it is totally flawed. There is people in live comments saying, oh, I think Messi's better, oh, Ronaldo's better. You know what? If I was pushed on it, I certainly think I would say that Ronaldo is better, because Ronaldo would suit what I want better. I want a player that's physical, that scores a lot of goals, that I can put a cross into the box and he's going to get on the end of it, but he's also quick, can also run with the ball. Messi, I think Messi's technically the better footballer, but I think Ronaldo suits the way I want to see football played better, i.e. I'm English, I like to put crosses into the box, I like a bit of power, I like somebody who can score lots and lots of goals. Fantastic shot on him. Messi, I'd love to see Messi in Premier League just to see what he can do. I'm not saying he'd flop, but I just think Ronaldo's done it in an inferior Portugal team to Argentina, and he's done it in 2 leagues and basically blitzed both those leagues when he's been there. It's a difficult one for Messi, because why would you want to leave Barcelona is a very good question. Why would you want to leave Barcelona? But actually, you failed in every single World Cup, and this will probably be his last one. Don't write it off that he might just do it, though, because, you know, at the end of the day, I was saying the other day that Maradona's a better player than Messi, because I remember Maradona, and obviously Maradona's a drugs cheat and all that, and that probably makes me want to say Messi's better. But 86 World Cup, Maradona won it single-handedly, and people saying, oh, the football was worse then. It wasn't worse then at all. It was just that football wasn't like it is now. We didn't know a lot about the teams then. There were still good players. It just wasn't wall-to-wall football. And Maradona won it single-handedly. And Messi should be able to win it single-handedly with the players that he's got around him. And comparable to the rest of the world of football, Messi should be on a level like that. I don't think Ronaldo's capable of winning it single-handedly for Portugal, because I think you've got to have decent players around you, and I just don't think Portugal have that sort of level of footballer. And also Ronaldo has transitioned into a player that really does need service now. I think Ronaldo, as an individual talent, isn't as good as what Messi is anymore. Messi can do things on his own, whereas Ronaldo still... I think Ronaldo needs good players around him now. I think Ronaldo, you could stick him up front for Stoke and he's going to struggle, whereas you could stick Messi in a Stoke team and he'd struggle, but he could make things happen. And that's not what Ronaldo's about anymore. Ronaldo used to be like that, but Ronaldo's sort of morphed into this, probably the best number 9 in the world, even though he doesn't want to be that. And I'd still take Ronaldo over Messi at Manchester United as a Manchester United fan. One, for the history and the romance, but two, because I just think as a number 9, he's the best in the world. I think Messi, as a talent, is probably the best in the world. But I don't think they should be split, because I don't think they can be split. There's no definitive answer. We'll all have an opinion. Some people get very aggressive and angry about it, saying Messi's the best, but you can't win it. You cannot win it, because there'll be a certain percentage of people who say, no, Ronaldo for me. And the flip it the other way. The reality is, the great thing is that because we actually have that discussion, it just shows you how great these two talents are. And it just probably does wind me up a little bit when I see people like Lineker coming out saying greatest of all time, when I know he's said it the same about Ronaldo. And people just come out of it because it's sensationalist. But it doesn't help the situation, because there is no definitive answer in my mind. Is Ronaldo better than Pele, says JME? I think Messi and Ronaldo are both better than Pele, to be honest. I think Pele is and was a very good player. But I don't know. There's something about Pele that just doesn't quite stack up. You know, I don't know. Pele's known as a great player, but there are players who were around the time of Pele that don't really speak of Pele the way I hear Sir Bobby Charlton talking about Ronaldo and Messi. I know you don't really hear Sir Bobby Charlton going on about Pele like, oh, it was I was blessed to play on the same pitch with him. I just don't. I think Pele obviously scored a lot of goals and he was a good player, but I just don't get that thing that there are still a lot of players around from that era who we've heard from years and years and years, and you don't really hear of. He's a good, obviously mentioned, but no, I don't know. I just don't get it with Pele, to be honest. We must enjoy them while they're still playing, says Nicholas Myers. That's a fantastic comment. We really, really should. And would you prefer an informed Ronaldo or an informed Messi, says Official Niche. Personally, I'd go for Ronaldo, but I do have that connection with Manchester United as well, so I think that's why it's going to go. Ronaldo is complete, Messi is skillful, says Nathan Alenio Durman. And Tubes says Ronaldo consistently outscores Messi in the Champions League knockout games when it matters. Yeah. I think it's Messi's last roll of the dice in the World Cup, and whatever he does next year, he's got to win it. Otherwise, he'll always go down as a failure in World Cups. Whereas I don't think, Ronaldo's not been amazing in World Cups, but I think he's been better in inferior teams. Do a poll. I'll chuck a poll on there for you. It's not up there at the moment. I will chuck one up for you. But Messi has bossed it against top-class Champions League teams, a lot of which are better than that of the Premier League, says What's Up Turtle. And if Messi single-handedly guided Argentina to win the World Cup, then we will all compare him to Maradona, says Cathal Jorge. Well, I think Maradona's better than Messi. I do. And I think the proof's in the pudding. Pele scored more goals than Messi and Ronaldo put together, says Dr. Chunky Biscuit. Yeah, but he counted goals he scored in his under-8 school teams at lunchtime. That's already been looked into before, the legitimacy of Pele's 1,000 goals. Byron Play says Pele liked to think too much of himself, like going along with the lie that he single-handedly stopped a war. And Ronaldo brings more to a team than Messi, says Jay Day. I do agree with that, to be honest, and that's why I would go for Ronaldo over Messi if it was down to me. Anyway, it was only meant to be a very quick video because I wanted to spark a debate. Get involved in the comments below. Thanks everyone for watching. We're back tomorrow night at 8:30 live with our Premier League preview. Yes, the Premier League is back, but we thought we'd fill a gap. And the Ronaldo Messi thing's been going on for ages. It's a bit like the Mars bar or Snickers debate, but it's always going to come back because there's always going to be something that happens where, oh, he's got a hat-trick and he's got Argentina to the World Cup. He's the greatest in the world. I mean, it's just basics. This is what punditry is, or, you know, ex-pro thick punditry, really. Oh, Messi scored a hat-trick against Ecuador to get into the World Cup. He's the greatest ever. Let's forget the other 17 games where Argentina were muck, or the game 3 days before where Messi was muck against Peru. We'll jump on the team against, you know, we'll jump on a hat-trick against the rubbish side and say he's the best in the world. So it's always sensationalist, isn't it? But the bottom line from me is I would take Ronaldo, but I don't really see why people have to battle to say which one's better. I think you've got two great choices and you choose what you prefer based on what you like. They are neck and neck at everything. They battle it out for the best prizes in world football because they are the best. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon. Don't forget to subscribe to That's Football if you're new, bottom right hand corner hologram, and spread the word and keep getting involved. We've got another Skype show coming up very soon as well, where you can all call in and have your say. Thanks for watching.